The following is a presentation of 912 Sports. Welcome to On Air with 912 Sports, your number one source for high school sports. With Sean Smoke, Kevin Price, and Robbie Ross. On Air with 912 Sports is brought to you by Coastal Pines Technical College. Go Coastal. Prime South Bank. Find your prime. Robbie Robertson Ford, because Fords are cheaper in the swamp. Gibson Animal Clinic, practical solutions with limited fees. Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery, the region's best orthopedic care. And Kim Smoke, licensed realtor with eXp Realty.
High schoolers, did you know that you can get a head start on your college career and save money at the same time through dual enrollment at Coastal Pines Technical College? Dual enrollment is open to high school juniors and seniors, tuition free. Talk to your high school counselor or visit coastalpines.edu for more information. Coastal Pines Technical College, an equal opportunity institution. Go Coastal.
It makes sense Prime South Bank would have a great mobile app. Nobody is as mobile as our customers. For a century, they've chased dreams, followed their hearts, took the road less taken, made a new path, taken leaps of faith. At Prime South, offering the latest digital banking, secure pay apps, and new online lending is part of a mobile tradition that goes way back. Life is mobile. So is Prime South. Find your Prime. Member FDIC.
Play it loud and rev it up. Robbie Robinson's got trucks built for tough.
Make your way to Robbie Robertson Ford in Waycross, where the deals are bigger than ever. Looking for a stylish midsize car, a spacious SUV, or a truck that performs at work and play? Robbie Robertson wants your vehicle and is paying top dollar. Now is the time to buy. Fords are cheaper in the swamp.
Welcome, sports fans, and thanks for watching On Air with 912 Sports. I'm Sean Smoke, publisher of 912 Sports, and there was a big offensive line, defensive line camp held at Jekyll Island this past weekend. It was the Battle of the Beach offensive and defensive linemen. They had several teams from the 912 area attending this big camp. Coach Lance Helton was kind of heading everything up over there, and our Kevin Price was on scene to give you a report on all that went down on the big Battle at the Beach. But first up, I had an opportunity to talk to the newly hired basketball coach at Ware County High School. Coach Lenny Williams comes out of Woodville Tompkins to take over the Gators program. And right after these messages, we're going to hear what Coach had to say. So stick around. You're watching On Air with 912 Sports.
At Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery, you don't have to be an athlete to get the region's best orthopedic care. Our board-certified orthopedic surgeons and physicians treat injuries and conditions that affect just about any joint or bone in your body. Plus, we're backed by the support of Southeast Georgia Health System. From fracture repair to joint replacement, Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery will get you moving again. Call 1-855-ASK-SGHS. That's 1-855-275-7447 or visit sghs.org/summit.
Gibson Animal Clinic is ready to help with your animals. From cats to dogs to horses, we treat them all. Call on us for grooming, bathing, boarding, and more serious things like surgery, dentistry, spay, neuter, immunizations, heartworm prevention, flea control, complete lab testing, radiology, preventive health care. Call us at 285-7678. Open Saturdays for your convenience. Gibson Animal Clinic. Practical solutions with reasonable fees. Russell J. Gibson, DVM.
Gibson Animal Clinic, 108 Riverside Drive, Waycross.
Hablamos español en nuestra clínica.
Welcome, sports fans, and thanks for watching On Air with 912 Sports. I'm Sean Smoke, publisher of 912 Sports, and I'm here with the new head basketball coach for the Ware County Gators, Coach Lenny Williams. Coach, how you doing today?
Pretty good. Thanks for having me.
Hey, Coach, appreciate you doing the interview with us here, buddy. For fans, or Gator fans, and really for people all over the 912, some people may be familiar with you from that Savannah area, but let's get a little bit of history, Coach. Where'd you go to high school? Where'd you play college ball? Talk a little bit about your past.
Went to high school at South Gwinnett High School in Gwinnett County. Of course, now it's called Louisville with Lou Williams, which excellent job of him retiring.
And Lou just retired.
Yeah, just retired and had an excellent career. And then I went on to play 4 years of college basketball at Clarkson University for Tobin Anderson, who was at Fairleigh Dickinson, who made the run this past year and knocked off Purdue, and now he's at Iona. And ended up graduating and start my coaching career at Cedar Shoals High School.
Right. Right there in Athens?
Yep, right in Athens with the great Ron Link. And then moved on to Oak Mountain Academy, and then moved on to Brandon Hall, and then moved on to Woodville Tompkins. Right. And then now here, which I've enjoyed and loved, Ware County.
Well, Coach, coming off a big couple of great runs there in 2A there at Woodville Tompkins, making it all the way to the finals, I think 2 years ago, and then the Elite Eight last year. So you had a good group there, but kind of stepping up a little bit of competition, going from 2 to 5A. So, but let's go back to your basketball philosophies. Let's start on the offensive side of the ball and talk a little bit about what you believe in, what you're going to coach here at Ware County.
Basketball's changed so much with these young men, with being just great athletes and can play multiple positions. Over the last few years, we've changed our offensive philosophy into, a positionless philosophy. A lot of times, people like to put labels on these young men of they're a power forward, they're a center, and they're a point guard. Now they're just players. Right. We're going to run, everybody said they're going to have a fast-paced game. No, we're going to play the game the right way. We're going to play discipline. We're going to get up and down the court, but our main focus is defend. Mm-hmm. We want our defense to lead the offense. Mm-hmm. And we got to, this program has to buy in. Over the last few years, it's been a struggle. But we have the pieces that we can continue to do successful things on and off the court. And on top of it, we have the pieces that can run our offensive system. A lot of 5 out, 4 out, 1 in. Motion offense, moving without the ball, sharing the ball, and making sure that we have these guys. We want at least 3 players in double figures each night, and that will solve a lot of our offensive issues.
Well, you mentioned that defense is going to kind of predicate your offense. Talk a little bit about what your philosophy is on that side of the ball. Are you going to play man all the time? Are you going to, zone is the right against the team you're playing, or are you flexible there? What's your defensive philosophy?
It is going to mainly man-to-man, full court man-to-man, but we'll still press, trap. But myself and our coaching staff, we do our homework. If we know a team is not very good at shooting the ball, we're not gonna, we're gonna make them shoot the ball. Right. We're not gonna be sitting there, trapping, pressing, and giving up layups when they can't shoot. And I believe. In this day and age, everybody wants to run a certain system, and that's why a lot of teams get beat, because they do not stick to the coaching philosophy. Mm-hmm. You can't get out coached. Right. And we want to get up and down. We want our defense turned to offense. If we can end our defensive possession with a rebound, we can push the ball and score in transition. We want to use 8 to 9 players with full court defense, man to man. And then, change it up, 2-1-2 press, 3-quarter court press, which we've yet to put in, but we're getting there. And over the last few weeks, I've seen that these guys can definitely adapt to what we're trying to teach them.
Well, Coach, speaking about this past week, I know you guys just coming from camp. Talk a little bit about that, and I think you guys have got another camp this week. So talk a little bit about both of those and both kind of what you learned from the last camp and what you hope to learn from this next one.
Yeah, our motto this summer, and it's every summer, I don't get paid to win summer games.
Right.
and I make sure people and fans and parents know that. My job is to put the best product on the court in October and November, and win games in February and March.
Right.
And most coaches want to win games during the summer, which I understand. You want to compete, but I want to make sure my guys understand, and I understand their strengths and weaknesses. So if I'm playing my top 8 all summer and not playing 9, 10, 11, and 12, I don't know what my weaknesses are.
Exactly.
And I don't know what those other guys' strengths are. But I've told our guys, understand we want to build a culture first, with discipline, trust, being coachable, and just understanding that hard work is going to take place. And we played in the Georgia Live period last week against the top teams in Florida, North Carolina, and then in Georgia. We had to play Green Forest, Langston Hughes. Green Forest who wins the state championship, and we beat them.
Right.
And my guys had to understand how to guard 6'8", 6'9". But they showed me a couple things. They can compete. They were disciplined. They were coachable. Each game I learned something different with these young men because I'm new and they're new. We've even changed our lineup several times, and I think we have a lineup that I'm accustomed to right now. But and then we split at Edward Waters a couple days before that. We went 1-1 against 2 teams from Florida as well. And then tomorrow we head back to, which is Wednesday, we head back to Edward Waters and play 2 more games, and then back up to another live period team camp in Atlanta. And again, live period is where the Division I, Division II, Division III's, NAIA coaches can come and watch and recruit players, and it is definitely a different level that our guys are accustomed to and have seen.
Well, we talk a little bit about X's and O's, but sometimes we know it's kind of the Jimmies and Joes that make these things go. So talk a little bit about what you've seen from some of your guys, and talk a little bit about some of the guys that you're going to count on, like you talked about in February and March.
Yes. Well, it starts with Darius Ward, our point guard. He's been in the program the last few years, came off the bench last year. A very good player that should have been playing a lot. He grew a lot this last few weeks. He was definitely one of our best players, if not the best player on the court, because of the fact that when he came out, we struggled. Then you also have DJ Jackson, who's also on the football field, plays wide receiver, but he's stepping out to the wing, 6'5". A lot of times when I watch on film, he was playing post. The kid is probably our best shooter in the program, so that's going to change. He hit several threes this weekend. And then you come in with a transfer in of William Simmons, who's 6'3", strong guard, that can play multiple positions. So now you have a 6'3" wing and you have a 6'5" wing. So now we start telling people, now you got to guard us.
Right.
And in the past, I don't think that's happened. And what I love about those 3 guys is that they're interchangeable, except for the point guard. And then you have some role players that come in and just dominate. But I love where we are right now. I told them, when I first took the job, none of my teams have successful summers because I don't plan to win a summer trophy.
Right.
Even when we went to the Final Four, undefeated in the region, 29-1, 25-5, we had the worst summers. And then now all of a sudden you're ranked in the top 5 or top 1 in the state, and everybody's like, what happened? Because I'm not here to win a summer trophy. I want to make sure I have our program in the best situation on camera, on film, statistically, and making sure that everybody had an opportunity to play to show their skill set so we can put them in the best possible way during the season.
Right. Well, Coach, I can tell you from being a Gator fan, being a graduate here back in the 80s, there's a lot of buzz around you coming. People are starting to get excited about basketball again. I mean, we just won a state championship in football. People are looking for great things out of the basketball program. So you guys go get better this summer, and we'll catch up with you in the fall when it starts to count.
Thanks for having me, and go Gators.
Go Gators.
High schoolers, did you know that you can get a head start on your college career and save money at the same time through dual enrollment at Coastal Pines Technical College? Dual enrollment is open to high school juniors and seniors, tuition free. Talk to your high school counselor or visit coastalpines.edu for more information. Coastal Pines Technical College, an equal opportunity institution. Go Coastal.
At Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery, you don't have to be an athlete to get the region's best orthopedic care. Our board-certified orthopedic surgeons and physicians treat injuries and conditions that affect just about any joint or bone in your body. Plus, we're backed by the support of Southeast Georgia Health System. From fracture repair to joint replacement, Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery will get you moving again. Call 1-855-ASK-SGHS. That's 1-855-275-7447 or visit sghs.org/summit.
It makes sense Prime South Bank would have a great mobile app. Nobody is as mobile as our customers. For a century, they've chased dreams, followed their hearts, took the road less taken, made a new path, taken leaps of faith. At Prime South, offering the latest digital banking, secure pay apps, and new online lending is part of a mobile tradition that goes way back. Life is mobile. So is Prime South. Find your Prime. Member FDIC.
Hello everybody, I'm Kevin Price for On Air with 912 Sports. This past Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, a special camp called the Battle at the Beach Camp for offensive and defensive linemen was held over on Jekyll Island here in Glenn County. I had the pleasure of going over to the camp on Saturday for one of the practice sessions and also talked with Jeff Davis head coach Lance Helton, one of the lead instructors for the camp, along with also Rhett Parson, one of the other lead instructors of the camp, an assistant coach at Rockmart, about the camp and attended the practice session and got several video clips. We're going to roll the interview now with both of those coaches and show some of the video action from the clip or from the camp as we do so. Again, it was a camp just for offensive and defensive linemen, a lot of drill work, a lot of work on technique. Some fun in the sun, if you will, on a real hot weekend over on Jekyll Island, but a chance for all the big uglies to get better as they go into summer camp for the rest of the summer with their teams. But here's the interviews with the coaches and also some clips from the camp. We'll start with my interview with Coach Lance Helton, head coach of Jeff Davis. All right, Coach, thanks for being with us and doing this interview, but tell us a little bit about the camp. I know it's through GACA.
Sure.
Tell us how this got started and how Jekyll was kind of chosen as the spot.
Well, you know, Kevin, it got started a long time ago. There was the Mike Hodges Camp of Champions that all the years I was at Dublin, we sent kids, and the guy who has really pushed me and helped me and was really the brain of this thing, Coach Parsons, he brought his kids as well. And you know, COVID shut that camp down. We always felt like at Jeff Davis we missed something when that camp got shut down, because at places like Jeff Davis, our line of scrimmage has got to be good. When we're good, our team is good. When we're not, our team is not. So we needed something back as far as that, and it's been a 2-year process for Coach Parsons and I to kind of put this thing together, and the GHSA has really helped us. And as far as the location, we were both doing the GHSA All-Star game in the winter, and we heard about Camp Jekyll, and we went and we saw the renovations, we saw the soccer complex, and it was just like a light bulb went off. We feel like it's the best location in the state. It gives these kids the opportunity to see some things they've never seen, but it gives them also a chance to be isolated with a bunch of O-linemen and get better.
And tell us, obviously a lot of kids are out here. When we showed the video, people to see that, but tell us about the response y'all got.
Oh, it's been great. Year one, we've got 150 plus kids out here, over 12 schools working. It's just been a great thing for us. We've got some of the best coaches in the state of Georgia giving up their Father's Day weekend to coach kids that may not even be at their school. And that, to me, is the ultimate sign of how important this camp is. We got football guys who are giving their all to kids that their paychecks don't even depend on. They just love the game, and these kids are taking coaching. They're yes sir, no sir kids, and it's just a camaraderie to me that they'll take on forever.
Talk about that aspect of it. I can see the emotion on some of these guys. I mean, they're really into it. They are coaching kids from other schools, but they're pouring their knowledge into it. They're stopping and starting drills, really taking individual time with the kids. I mean, it is really about making kids better. It doesn't matter what the name on the jersey says.
No, I think for me it's important, Kevin, because we feel like we're grooming the next batch of O and D line coaches throughout the state. You know, it's been a really cool process for me. My high school O-line coach is helping coaching this camp, Coach Joel Ingram at Dublin. And it's just really important for us that we pour back into kids so that one day they can give to others what the game gave to them, just like we're doing now. It's been awesome. We do some team activities throughout the day. We do a big auditorium session at night where these camp coaches are talking about what the game of high school football means to them. And here's the deal for us. It's about these kids taking a step forward every day, being better than when they arrived and helping their teams win. And it's been awesome to see the camaraderie of a bunch of line of scrimmage guys just coming together.
Kind of tell us what you do. I mean, you did start this camp on Friday night. We're talking to you on Saturday.
Sure.
You had to practice Friday. You'll have a couple a day, have some more Sunday, another practice on Monday before you leave. Do you kind of cover being an offensive and defensive lineman from A to Z the best you can?
So we've got a 12 and 12 split, 12 offensive fundamentals, 12 defensive fundamentals throughout the camp. We are on a very rigorous schedule. We practiced last night. We'll go 3 times on Saturday, 3 times on Sunday. Competition practice Monday morning. And for us, it's about the well-rounded kid. You know, it may not be about the Jeff Davis right guard. He's got to learn how to go play the same thing a center does, a right tackle does, a tight end does, then flip around a defensive tackle, defensive end. And it makes him a better football player. And when you see the kids from Fitzgerald, from Coffee, we've got folks all the way from Adairsville down here. Their belief in this camp and their belief in the GACA has been unbelievable. And it's once again, it's about making well-rounded football players. And you know, Kevin, we couldn't do this without GACA. What they've done, the support they've given, and the backing they've given us, you know, I prayed a lot about this camp, and I thank the Lord for the support they've given it.
Coach, you always got some good, colorful comments. You learned any new new quotes or new
Well,
sayings?
you know, man, we say some things out here at practice. I think the ultimate deal is, you know, my favorite is, I think we got a bunch of guys we trying to make tougher than woodpecker lips, right? You hear that a lot, but I tell you what, the thing I've noticed is these kids have got after it, you know, kind of like a hobo jumping off the train eating a ham sandwich. There ain't no quit in it, right? So we love these kids. I appreciate Coach Parsons letting me jump on board with this thing, and I appreciate 912 for everything y'all do for us. Thanks a lot.
All right. Thank you, Coach Helton. We always appreciate Coach Helton and his colorful comments, some good insight from him, and we also saw him in action during that interview. Very animated, very intense as he went through drills with some of those linemen. But now let's roll the interview with Coach Parson. Of course, he was a long way from home over on Jekyll Island. He is a coach at Rockmart. He was very vested, full of energy, full of vigor as he coached some drills during the camp on Saturday morning as well. Here's my interview and some more video clips as we talk to Coach Parson. All right, Coach. Well, thanks for being here with us in Southeast Georgia, and just talk about the environment here, the atmosphere. Obviously, there seems like a lot of intensity at the camp, and good to see all the big uglies getting after it, I guess.
Oh, yes. When you get a bunch of linemen together, it's always good, and they go to work. The heart and soul of a team right here.
Well, just talk about what you're doing. I mean, same with Coach Helton. I mean, you thought this was something that was needed around the state, something for the linemen to get out here and improve their skills. Just talk about how big this is for offensive and defensive linemen around the state.
Yes, sir. When me and Coach Helton got together, and Coach Hodges, a legend in the state of Georgia, was running the Camp of Champions, and it went away after COVID for 3-4 years, I just felt like selfishly for my kids, we needed some drill work where there's just heavy drills, a lot of intense work, and you're sweating together and bleeding together and things like that. So this camp's super important to me and Coach Helton to for our kids, you know, and then we had a lot of great coaches jump on board and bring their kids, and then some just volunteering their time on Father's Day weekend. So this has been really special.
And talk about, just what y'all are doing. I mean, your kids are rotating from station to station, and obviously these kids, I heard one of the coaches, ask some of the kids, what schemes they do, but it really kind of doesn't matter what scheme you run. I mean, a lot of the fundamentals are the fundamentals, right?
That's right. So whether it be your zone team, a RPO team, or a gap pin and pull team, we're hitting every facet of the game, from pass pro to stance and starts of a D lineman, and working, their turn on a pass rush. We got 12 offensive stations and 12 defensive stations, and they're hitting 6 every practice, 3 and 3, and just getting after it. A lot of these schools are smaller and they're two-way players, so that's why we incorporated the D-line piece of it to let them get work on both sides of the ball.
Now, obviously, drill work's going on right now. The kids are doing things individually, but as a group, we all kind of incorporate some competition into this thing as well?
Yes, sir. So Monday, we're going to have a Boss Hog Trophy, and we'll have 4 competitions that they do on Monday morning, and we'll end with one person from each school will be a representative, and they're going to do a route drill, and the winner of that drill, their team's going to take home that Boss Hog Trophy. So it'll be fun.
Kind of talk about that. I know from, in the summer you see the 7-on-7s, which obviously the linemen can't be involved in. That's quarterbacks and receivers and whatnot. Some schools do have like a big man challenge, kind of like that, where they do get the linemen involved in those 7-on-7s. Obviously, in the state of Georgia, we do allow the padded camps, throughout the summer where the linemen can get involved, and it's maybe the closest thing to real football that we see before preseason scrimmages. But to be able to have a camp like this for the linemen to get work in, you obviously feel like that's a big deal in the summer.
You're exactly right, Kevin. I think it's super special to just be these guys, okay? And one of the coaches made a comment coming out here to practice this morning, said, "This is the first camp I've ever been to. We didn't have football. Like, there ain't no balls being thrown around. It's just straight linemen connecting together and building that team bond to take back to their team to hopefully overflow into them. And it's just about these guys right here this weekend. You know what I'm saying? It's all about linemen and D-line and hands, back, feet, man. It's just, we're getting after it.
And I know I'm asking you about the future. Y'all aren't even finished with this first camp restarting, but y'all want to keep this going and make it even bigger and better going forward,
yes,
right?
Sir. We're about 75 kids away from being full at this campus. So that's, the Lord has blessed this opportunity for me and Coach Helton to put this thing on, and hopefully it makes us have to expand it, maybe 2 weekends in the month of June, or maybe 2 different locations. But if it stays this way, it's worth every penny to have my kids come down here and get coached by some of the best ones in the state of Georgia.
All right, Coach, you going to get any time on the beach this weekend, or is it strictly on the football field?
Well, actually, I told my kids at 6:30 I was going to come in there with a whistle. I walked in this morning. They were all awake, and I said, well, let's go walk on the beach. So we went this morning and saw the sunrise, so it was special, man, because a lot of our kids probably ain't even seen the ocean from where we're from in little old Rockmart.
All right, Coach. Well, speaking of work, we'll let you get back at it. We
yes,
appreciate
sir,
it.
I appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Play it loud and rev it up. Robbie Robinson's got trucks built for tough.
Make your way to Robbie Robertson Ford in Waycross, where the deals are bigger than ever. Looking for a stylish midsize car, a spacious SUV, or a truck that performs at work and play? Robbie Robertson wants your vehicle and is paying top dollar. Now is the time to buy. Fords are cheaper in the swamp.
Gibson Animal Clinic is ready to help with your animals. From cats to dogs to horses, we treat them all. Calling us for grooming, bathing, boarding, and more serious things like surgery, dentistry, spay, neuter, immunizations, heartworm prevention, flea control, complete lab testing, radiology, preventive health care. Call us at 285-7678. Open Saturdays for your convenience. Gibson Animal Clinic. Practical solutions with reasonable fees. Russell J. Gibson, DVM.
Gibson Animal Clinic, 108 Riverside Drive, Waycross.
Hablamos español en nuestra clínica.
This has been a presentation of 912 Sports.